right, we gotta. So it might look a little. There's gonna be a lot of pictures visible at all times. I'd just like you to focus on the center of the PowerPoint slide, okay? I'll be dragging stuff in as we go.
Okay.
I'm eating Mediterranean food. Awesome, dude.
Who said that?
Daniel.
Dream.
All right, now this doesn't look like much, all right, but it gets better.
Okay.
All right. I can't hear Discord sounds, but we only got one viewer at the moment, people. Oh, now we got 4.
Yeah,
Everyone
was
tune
first, bro.
Everyone, yeah, it was.
Make sure to go full screen.
Oh,
Oh. Not enough
Like,
players
go to
join the
presentation
deathmatch?
mode. You know how to do that, right?
Me?
You know how to go into presentation mode, right?
No, I'm gonna be dragging stuff. They do not fly on screen. I think it's better if I'm like. Whoa!
You should have set up animations for everything.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, but I went to 4 a.m. last night to just get the pictures. Because I mean, bro, it gets kind of crazy later. All right, let me check my viewership. Wait, we still only got 4 spectators, people. What is going on?
How big was the gift?
The gift.
Right. How big was the gift, Bonnie? Please. Right.
All right,
have that GIF in here.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna start. Whatever. If people aren't watching, whatever. All right, guys, listen up. This is gonna be a lot to take in. I'll take questions at the end of every slide.
Okay.
All right. Listen. All right. We got him. We got Purple Man, and we got Orange Man. Now, he is not canonically orange. He will be orange just to represent him. This is William Afton. He is the bad guy. All right. He's the main bad guy. And this is Henry Miller, and he is sort of a good guy, but he's more like an absentee father. All right. So these guys, they used to be best friends. They used to be pals, and they did what every best friend duo wants to do. They wanted to start their own pizza chain. Hold on, let me send this all the way back. All right. Fredbear's Family Diner. You see, ignore it says Chuck E. Cheese. We ignore that. All right. Listen. So these guys, they were like, oh, Chuck E. Cheese isn't real. So we're gonna make these guys. All right. We got Fredbear and we got Spring Bonnie. All right. And those were the main robots. They were yellow, and this guy had a purple hat. That's important for later. All right. So Henry had a daughter named Charlie. Charlie is important. They're all important. We don't know
Henry's
his wife.
the orange one. Is Henry?
Yeah, questions at the end of the slides.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, dude. All right, can you wait? Jeez. Yeah. So Henry had a daughter. All right, and William, he somehow got a wife and had 3 kids. Wife's not that important. He had a daughter named Elizabeth. Oh, and these guys they're the Aftons. William Afton. This is the crying child, name not important, and this is Epic Michael Afton, the best character in the whole series. All right. So these two let me see. I can draw. These two they started a business together and then these were the robots, and then this guy made these children. And this guy made this children. All right? Okay. All right. Moving on.
Wait.
You got
questions.
Question time.
Question time.
Carter.
Okay.
You have metal, yes? What if you recorded this?
I am recording it on OBS.
I have a question. Is William Afton in any way related to Brent Afton?
So, little known fact about Brent Afton because Brent Afton's not real.
You would think that. You would think that.
You would think that Brent Afton was important.
I hear so much about Brent Afton. It's just I have to know.
I have a question.
What's your question?
When do you talk about the homosexual context, subtext, in the whole story?
That's not relevant.
We're getting there. That's on slide 6. Okay. All right. Is no more questions?
No.
All right. So, I gotta stop drawing. All right. So this is Michael Afton. Still, this is him when he was like a teenager. And so these guys, they're brothers. They're epic. Oh, actually, wait. Before this, Henry and William, their business was big successful. So successful that they got an epic TV show featuring all of our favorite characters that aren't real animatronics yet. So Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Fredbear, they all existed on this epic TV show. But that's kind of all they exist in right now. It's Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Fox. They come in later, but this is where they came from originally, as their own TV show. So, this guy, he's like some older brothers, and he is a dickhead. All right, he's a doofus, and he always bullies his brother, and he scares him, and he makes fun of the things he likes because the crying child, because he cries a lot. He's scared. He's scared of the pizza place because he's scared of the robots. He's scared of all the robots because he thinks they're creepy. And so, on his epic birthday in 1983, Michael and his gaggle of Five Nights at Freddy's friends, they jump bro on his birthday. They jump him. All right, they grab him, and they make him. They're like, oh, you know what? You know what'd be really funny? You know what'd be really funny? Oh, you know what'd be really funny? If we took bro and we stuck him in his mouth. All right. And so, of course, they were all laughing, and then he became he became a corpse. He basically died. Okay, he's technically not dead, but he dies in like 5 days. Like, so
He lived?
so his
Five
his
nights?
his frontal lobe got cut off. Like, they took a big chunk of his whole ass head. It was kind of crazy. And so the police came. Everyone ran away, and so obviously the dad was not stoked that his son was just eaten in front of him, right? And it's his other kid's fault. So the police pull up, and Fredbear's Family Diner, closed down. It rest in peace. Rest in peace. It stays open for a few extra days, and some important stuff happens. So basically, let me get rid of all the nonsense that we don't need anymore. This was the bite of 83. Most people think it's the bite of 87, but actually it's the bite of 83. The bite of 87 is something else awesome. All right. So distraught at the sight of his child dying, basically, he levels up with this epic beer shirt. He goes drinking, as you do. All right. And he gets in his similarly purple Bugatti Maserati. He gets in, and he goes, and he drives, right? And we'll see him again in a second. So Emily, or Charlie, Henry's daughter, right? Henry built this other robot, the puppet. All right, the puppet is was built to protect Charlie from harm because she gets bullied as well. And anyways, that didn't work, and Charlie got locked outside by the other children, and the puppet was stuck inside and couldn't get out. And so here comes Father of the Year. He pulls up. He gets out of his car, seeing his close friend's child alive and well. He thinks, hey, that's not fair. And so he kills her. He kills his best friend's kid. All right, big sad. And then he gets back in his car and he leaves. Anyways, and then the puppet finally gets outside, and it sees that Charlie is dead, but it does the only thing it can, which is, try to comfort the dead body. And then boom, they play, and then the world plays polymerization spell card, and the puppet that most people know from the games is born. They fuse soul and body, and now Charlie is the puppet now. Henry's daughter is now the puppet, and the puppet will go on to give life to like all the robots. And then it closed down. Any questions?
No, that's pretty good.
Okay, all right.
Where can I get this shirt?
A shirt.
Where's
Yeah.
the merch?
It's gonna be in my merch store coming soon. You know, on a
Oh, okay.
Mercredi. All right. So
Okay.
we're gonna transition a little bit. So the kid, the crying child, he was chomped, and so his head hurt a little bit, you know, and he is in the hospital now. While in the hospital, he's kind of in a pseudo coma and he's dying. So he's having nightmares of all of these joyous robotic friends attacking him every night. And this is Five Nights at Freddy's 4. You play through basically a child in a coma. He's here too. Plushtrap is here too. He doesn't really do anything. He's kind of lame as fuck. These guys are from a Halloween update, and none of them are canon except for Nightmare Balloon Boy, and I still don't know why. He specifically is okay, but the rest of these guys are not. All right. The box is very important. So obviously he dies eventually because you can't really live without that much of your brain. So the box, move out of the way. So he's dead. He dies. Michael Afton, the brother, he apologizes for what he's done, and he leaves. And then the father, William Afton, he promises to put him back together, to put his son back together. Oh, also the son had the plushie that like monitored him and stuff. There's like a camera and like a speaker in it. It went around with him everywhere. He promised to put his son back together somehow. Then he went off to kill more kids, including this guy. This is Cassidy. He is the soul inside of Golden Freddy, and the crying child is the soul inside of Golden Freddy. There's two of them for some reason. Also, all of Five Nights at Freddy's 4 might not be in this guy's coma. In the books, it's real, and there's like nightmare gas that makes people hallucinate these monsters. I don't know. But yeah, basically, important takeaways. Box is important. Crying Child died, and this other kid died, and they're both inside of Golden Freddy. And William Afton's like, I will put you back together. Questions about the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 section?
Is the FNAF movie good? I haven't seen it yet.
It's very good. I enjoyed it. I watched it twice.
See.
All right. This is the big kahuna slide. All right. So obviously you can't use Fredbear as your main mascot anymore because, well, I mean, he bit a child's head off. So, they decide to go with their TV robots, the Freddy, Chica, Bonnie, Foxy. But they're kind of like broken at the moment. So instead, they use the spare parts from these robots. That's why they're all beat up and destroyed, to make the toy animatronics at Freddy Fazbear location 5 Nights at Freddy's 2. All right. You got Balloon Boy. Oh, and they brought the puppet back. This is possessed puppet. This is Charlie. There's Shadow Bonnie and Shadow Freddy, but I don't think they kind of just exist. Shadow Freddy does stuff later. Shadow Bonnie never does anything. So yeah, these guys are the new mascots of Fazbear Epic Entertainment, which is awesome, right? And so, unfortunately for this sexy lady over here, the children like her a little too much, so they they rip her to pieces, and with their advanced robotic skills as children, they put her back together as this monstrosity known as the Mangle, who is also possessed by a dog at some point. All right, so William Afton, maybe he knows that the puppet is still alive even though it's possessed. Goes around and he kills the children. Oh, he gets into this. He gets into the spring Bonnie suit from the first location, and then he kills all of the children. They all die. And oh yeah, Henry's still here. He's running the business as well. So 5 people die. One of them is the one to go on and inhabit Golden Freddy. And so he gets away with the murders. He escapes. William Afton. No one finds out. On the day of this child's birthday, it's tragedy. Tragedy strikes. So the puppet is like, "Oh shit, bro! They all died. Unlucky." So he gives them all the gift of life, and all of the withered animatronics become possessed. All right, these guys are now possessed, so they're alive. These guys, oh yeah, he gives them the masks. The toy animatronics are not possessed, but they have the reason they attack you is because they have like police scanner eyes or something. They can like detect if you're a criminal by looking at you, and they think you're like a pedophile or something. Anyways, so the 5 kids disappear. It's a big debacle. The police come back and they're like, "Hey, where are all the kids, man?" And everyone's like, "Oh, oh yeah, there's JJ. JJ is like a hidden character that does nothing." And so they search and they can't find anything, so it stays open. And they have one last party. This guy, he's just your average daytime security guard. He's going, and he runs into our friend, the Mangle. And the Mangle's like, "What's up, man?" And then before he could even say anything, the Mangle bites him. It bites his whole head off, and he dies. This is the bite of 87. This is the beautiful bite of 87. And obviously, since you can't really have your robots randomly attacking people, they resort to drastic measures. They decide to get rid of all okay, all of the newer animatronics except for the puppet. The puppet, since he's alive, he or she escapes. She leaves. Let's see, where's Balloon Boy? Whatever. They all get crushed in the hydraulic press and become epic TF2 scrap, and then they go in the bucket, and they're gone forever. That's the last we ever see of any of these guys. So sad. But they will live on in our hearts. So Henry, in a great move, not knowing these guys are possessed, he fixes them up as their next epic location opens. All right, and so the bite of 87. William Afton kills a bunch of children. These guys are possessed. Epic bite of 87. Any questions before I move on to slide 5?
I do.
What's good?
Why did you separate the death of Cassidy into like somewhere else
By
when
accident.
they're part of the missing children?
Accident. Yeah. So this happens now. In my 4 a.m. madness, I must have put it there on accident. Oh yeah, and there's this guy. He doesn't really do anything. He's just there. All right. So basically, William Afton, he's like, man, I killed all those children and they've now gone off to possess the other robots. I must be able to do something with that. I have to do something with that. And he's got 2 children left. He's trying to protect his children. As you do, as a good father. So he goes on to build a bunch of murder machines that are specifically built to kill children. This one might be his wife. We don't know. So these guys are like rental. Like, you know how like you see those videos of like Goku at like a child's birthday party? You get that, but it's Five Nights at Freddy's, and they're actually fully ass robots that are gigantic. And their job is to lure kids. Like Funtime Foxy can mimic the voices of parents. Ballora, I don't remember what she does. Funtime Freddy has a stomach hatch that he just stuffs children in. And Baby also just has a stomach hatch that's to stuff people in. So William Afton, he does this for a little bit. He gets some children in his epic basement under his house. That's where he's doing everything. He's got all the robots under his house. Hold on, let me send this all the way backwards. All right. He's got all the robots in his house, under his house. Good plan. And there's like an elevator down. And anyway, so he experiments and he discovers this material. It's called a remnant. It's this purple ooze goo thing, swirly, it's nonsense. Basically, it's souls. It's just souls. That's just kind of what it is. So he can put them in robots. He goes, and then he sticks it in this one, and it's sort of alive. And obviously, he doesn't want any of his kids to go near it. So he tells his daughter, because he doesn't really care about his other son, because his other son, killed his brother. He tells his daughter, he's like, don't go near any of my robots, or you will die. You will die. Don't ever do this. And so she does. She goes right up to the robot as soon as there's no one else there. All right. She's like, "Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. You look just like me." And then Circus Baby uses her stomach fork and kills Elizabeth and puts her inside. And then Elizabeth goes on to possess Baby because her eyes change from blue to green, signifying that she is now Elizabeth. So now bro's 2 for 3 for dead children. He goes off to do other things at this other location, and tells his son, his final son, many years later, "Hey, I need you to go in the basement and get your sister. Yeah, she's the robot." Boom. So he's like, "Of course, I'll go do that." So he goes in the basement, and after spending 5 nights in the epic basement, and foolishly trusting his robotic sister, who is kind of his sister and kind of not. She's possessed, but she doesn't have her memories fully. So she doesn't. She thinks that her brother is her dad. Like they look similar. So she and the other robots are like, "Let's kill this fucker. He's a bitch, and let's wear his skin as a suit." Awesome. So after 5 nights of trickery, they lead Sir Michael Afton to the back room, the scooping room, the most friendly room that you of course would lead your brother to, and the scooper scoops all of his insides out and all of his bones and perfectly leaves a skin suit. And all of the robots, they combine together to form Epic Ennard, the goat himself, a bundle of wires and souls and nonsense. And they climb inside Bro and pilot him. And so they use this to just kind of escape the building that they're stuck in. And then it goes good for a while. Then obviously Bro's body starts decomposing because it's just skin. So eventually they're like, all right, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Bye. All right, they're like, whoa, and they leave, and he's fully dead. Or is he? He comes back to life somehow as a skin suit, and he is who you play as for the rest of the games. So he's off hunting down his father for, like
Wait,
slaughtering.
who's the skin suit again?
Michael Afton. It's the last remaining child of William Afton, his son.
Okay.
So he's trying to like basically take his dad down for, killing a bunch of children, killing his sister. I mean, he killed his brother, so kind of L on that one. Anyways, Ennard just kind of meanders around the sewer system for a couple of years until eventually getting in like a crazy civil war with himself or themselves. It's basically Baby versus the other three, and they're like, we don't want to listen to you anymore because you're kind of annoying. And she's like, nuh-uh, listen to me. And they're like, no, and they kick her out. And so both halves of Ennard split ways, and we will see them later. Any questions? All right. So, epic Five Nights at Freddy's 1 location, as seen in the movie. Michael Afton, he's a skin suit now. He comes to work here to try to track down his dad, but he's a bit early. And they fire his ass for smelling bad because he's a decomposing body. I'm not kidding. He actually gets fired for smelling. So he's not here anymore. Then, after a long time, the building kind of shuts down because there's dead bodies in these robots. So the building starts to smell, and everyone's like, you know what? A bunch of kids went missing at the last one. We don't really want to fuck with this. So the building kind of falls apart a little bit, disrepair. And then William Afton comes back. He's like, yo, I know that the bodies are in there. I need to remove the evidence in case anyone ever sees. Or he's like, there's remnant in there that I gotta use. So one by one, he destroys all of the robots. He leads them around as Shadow Freddy. He leads them all to a room that they can't go through. So he goes through the wall, but they can't. And then he's like, because they're programmed not to enter that room. So and then he jumps them from behind. He like destroys them all. Boom. Oh, the puppet's here also. He's just chilling. And so he's done what he's done, and then boom, all the souls of the children roll up on him, and he's like, "Whoa, didn't know you could do that one." Golden Freddy's there. I don't think he's destroyed. And the puppet's there too, and they back bro into a corner. So he runs into his rusty old musty ass suit that he had used to kill all the kids like a million years ago. And it's kind of, the ceiling's kind of leaky, so some water sprays on him. And this suit is half suit, half robot, and you gotta like move the robot parts out of the way so they don't kill you. And the water makes all the robot parts come back. Anyway, so he's like crushed, destroyed, killed, and he dies. William Afton is dead. He dies and decomposes in this suit for 30 years. Michael Afton is still running around. The puppet then leaves, and these souls move on to the afterlife. But these three guys are left, and he's dead. Any questions?
No, it seems
What
makes
does
sense.
Brent Afton feel about the death of William Afton?
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Womp womp.
Oh, Aaron's here. All right. So
Hello.
then years later, again, many years pass. 30 years to be exact. Some geniuses were like, hey, all those children went missing at that Freddy Fazbear place. Let's make like a mock horror attraction using as many like artifacts from these locations as we can. And they're like, that's a great idea. And we'll make the building extremely flammable. So, um, they go look for artifacts. Oh, this needs to go all the way backwards. Hold on. And they uncover. This guy does. He's the goat. This is Brent Afton, unrelated to William Afton. He
Unrelated?
unrelated, just happens to also be Afton. He takes all the big wooden planks off William Afton's corpse, and he's like, "Whoa, a real robot! This is too crazy." It's definitely not clearly a rotting corpse in there. So he gets his wheelbarrow, and he's like, "Dude, this is fucking awesome." And so he, oh, that's not what I want to do. He like picks bro up in the wheelbarrow. And he's like, "Let's go to my thing," and he brings him to the new location. And but he's alive. He comes back to life. He always comes back. He never dies. So he's back. He's back and he's haunting this new place. Michael Afton, he's here. He's coming looking for his father because he doesn't know that William died in that back room like 30 years ago. But he kind of gave up hope until they announced the new Freddy Fazbear location. So he's like, you know what? I'll go check it out just because. And uh-oh. It's the father-son showdown of the century. And the puppet is there. And all the phantom animatronics are hallucinations because of the bad ventilation in the building. The puppet leaves without doing anything. Michael, after spending 4 nights with his father, because night 1 he's not there yet, and then he pulls up at night 2. He's like, man, fuck you. And he sets fire to the whole building.
Wait, who's the father? Is this William?
Yeah, William Afton is Springtrap. He's the killer. This is the killer. This is the father and the killer. Anyways, so Michael Afton, he leaves after setting fire to the place, and William Afton burns in the fire and dies, never to be seen again. Oh, hold on. Any questions?
Me,
All right.
I have a question.
What's up?
What's up with the box you mentioned earlier? I haven't said anything.
Don't worry about
yet.
the this one. This one that's extremely important. Don't worry about that one.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to it.
Okay.
All right. So, feeling okay, actually, not these guys just yet. Ennard from earlier, he split ways, so he's still out there. So the one of the halves that Elizabeth Afton is in, forms Scrap Baby. Basically, this is William Afton's daughter, possessed the robot, and formed herself into, and the other half of Ennard formed into the GOAT himself, Molten Freddy, the best character in the whole series. He's the greatest. He's my favorite. So these guys are just kind of wandering around. Henry, you remember Henry? He's the other guy who formed the restaurants. He's like, man, my daughter was killed and is dead. But maybe she's not dead. I'm going to build this robot to go hunt down my daughter. And he does, and it does. And it works. And it contains it, and it comes back. And he's like, okay, that works. I should do that with the rest of the guys that exist from my past. So he makes a new Fazbear location to attempt to lure all of the remaining robots and people connected to the deaths and everything into one place. So he hires Michael Afton, the rotting skin suit who's still alive, to run the joint. He runs the place, and he buys like 1,000 animatronics and stuff. Awesome, good for him. He buys Candy Cadet. Candy Cadet's cool. and he slowly collects possessed animatronics. He gets Scrap Baby, who's possessed by his sister. And then he gets Molten Freddy, who's possessed by all the other children. He gets Lefty, who's the one who's containing the puppet. Who's haunted by Elizabeth or Charlie, this guy's daughter. She's the one who gave life to all the other robots. And then, but William Afton's dead. Or is he? He's back. Just kidding. He died, but he's back as a significantly uglier character. He survived because he always comes back. So he's back. What do? You got the serial killer and all the other guys here. They're all here. They're all stuck. And so Henry is like, all right, here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to shut down the entire building and we're all going to die. Everyone is going to die. He locks everyone away. Hold on, I got to bring this all the way forward. And he burns everybody. There's no escape. Every single character in the whole series dies. Everyone's dead. Everyone moves on. Let me move this stuff out of the way. So Henry, so you got heaven. So the bodies, they fall away, they die. Where's there he is. And they all go to heaven. They all reach the pearly gates. Except for William Afton, because he killed like 1,000 children. So he goes to hell. Wah! Any questions?
Nope.
All right, so now you
Which FNAF was this?
This was Pizzeria Simulator number 6.
Okay.
So now you might think that the story's over, but I have 3 more epic slides. So William Afton, he goes to hell.
This is not real, right? Is this like in
real.
the game?
This is real. This is real. He goes to hell.
But doesn't the whole UCN happen in like a coma?
No,
something?
books don't count. We're not talking about the books. This is my
Okay.
interpretation of the lore. But he is stopped
Oh.
by the soul of Brent Afton. He is like, bro, hell's too good for you. This guy Brent is possessing Golden Freddy. He's like, bro, hell is way too good for you. We're gonna stick you in this endless mini game against all of these characters forever. Good luck.
Who made this lore? Like, what? Who created this?
Scott Cawthon.
And
My
Steel
goat.
Wool.
I am Steel Wool, but
Okay.
we're not at the Steel Wool section yet. So he is endlessly tormented by every robot that has ever existed in the whole series. And then this guy, Old Man Consequences. I think he's like a god. He's from one of the games, but it doesn't really make sense for him to actually exist. He's from like a joke game. And he's like, while William Afton is being tormented in hell, he's like, bro, let's get you out of here. Leave him to die. All right. It's you're torturing bro, but you're also stuck in hell because you're doing this. Let's just move on. Let's just leave. And he's like, fine. And so Golden Freddy falls away. Oh. And Brent Afton goes to heaven. And anyway, William Afton is dead. 100% completely dead. He can't really come back from hell. Any questions about the hell section?
No.
All right. So now you might be thinking, all of our characters are dead. Wrong. William Afton is back because this other company wanted to make a video game based on the horror of Five Nights at Freddy's. And so, what better way to do that then take random, this is real, take random computer chips and scraps from this burned building location. Just take random stuff from these random robots and scan them into their VR game. And for some reason, they have downloaded the consciousness of William Afton. He's back, but he's stuck in the machines. He's like a virus now. His name is Glitch Trap. So he's haunting this game now, this epic VR game. And this poor man, I don't know his name. He's a playtester. He's playtesting, and he gets tormented by Glitch Trap, and he ends up using this paper cutter thing to chop his own face off. That's kind of it for that guy. He didn't really matter all too much. He died. And then it's Vanessa's turn. And she's like, well, that went well for bro. And she puts on the headset and she finds Glitch Trap and she's like, hey, fuck you. Get split into 20 tapes. And he's like, ah! But not after, but before he's like disintegrated, he like infects her mind with like a piece of him. I don't know. And she becomes like his lackey and like partially controlled, and she's now the new villain, the new serial killer villain, possessed by the AI computer parts of the other killer. But Glitch Trap copies of him are locked away in a bunch of tapes in the game. So unless you collect them all, which you can do in the game, but that doesn't really matter. All that matters is Vanessa here. Any questions about the man who got his face chopped off or any scanning computer parts, random computer parts?
What about Tape Bro?
Have we moved on to security breach yet?
That's
Like, where
next.
are we? Okay.
This is Five Nights at Freddy's VR.
Oh.
Whoa!
But Tape
Whoa!
Bro.
I'm going to touch you, bro. You cannot be saying that. I just got a
Yeah.
Steam DM. That was crazy. All right,
Right.
here we go. Then, many years later, again, all right, we come across the Super Ultra Mega Five Nights at Freddy's Epic
I remember you
Mall
playing this.
because nobody thinks that every time one of these opens, it's a bad idea. And so we got epic characters like Glamrock Freddy, Roxanne Wolf, Montgomery Gator, and Glamrock Chica, and also DJ Music Man, and Sun Drop, and Moondrop. But Moondrop's evil because he's a dickhead. These guys don't really matter in the plot. Other important character, Vanessa, the security guard, who is also the serial killer. Ooh. She's like evil and is a furry now.
Yes.
But basically, Glitch Trap is helping Vanessa kill all of these children. Like a bunch of new children. A bunch of new children have died. And he has infected all the other robots in the building. Except for Glamrock Freddy, because Glamrock Freddy's the GOAT. So our story revolves around our boy Gregory. He might be a robot. I don't know. He could be a robot. Anyways, him and Glamrock Freddy team up to take down everyone else in the building. They come up against Glamrock Chica. They crush her with a rock and she dies. They go up against Roxanne Wolf and they hit her with a car and she dies. They go up against Montgomery Gator. They cut bro in half. Oh. And he lives, but like not really very well. I'm not kidding about how these guys die. It's a hydraulic press, but Roxanne really gets hit by a car. It's kind of crazy. And then they finally come up against Vanessa, or I guess it's Vanny, the evil Fursona version. But she's being controlled by Glitch Trap, and Gregory knows that for some reason. So he hops into some arcade machines and plays this thing called Princess Quest, which is like Vanessa's soul. And he basically beats Glitch Trap. And Glitch Trap is maybe dead forever. We don't know. We haven't seen him in a while. And Vanny turns back into Epic Vanessa. And they're all friends. And the mall burns down for some reason. Again. Everything, they really like fire. Anyways, Glamrock Freddy, Gregory, and Vanessa all escape, and they live happily ever after, at least for a little bit.
Nice.
Now you're wondering, what's next? There's nothing left to do. They beat the villain. Well, of course, Gregory's friend from school. She pulls up to the mall and is like, "Whoa, where's my bro at? I haven't seen him in a while." She gets a call on the telephone, and on the other end, she hears a voice. "Yo, I'm stuck in the extra mega sub basement. I need you to like disable every piece of security left in the building, and then come get me." And she says, "Okay." And she does that. She goes up against what remains of the animatronic robots, and she wins because she's the GOAT. And she fights EMXS or XMES, this giant scary rabbit guy. But it's all in like electronic digiverse, and it's actually, this is the living security system, and she beats it. But that was bad because she releases the Mimic. All right? And you know what? You know what's even crazier than the Mimic? The fact that they built the mall on the remains of the other building from before. They built on top of the bigger building from earlier, the one where they all burned and died. Why? I don't know. This thing just exists. It's called the Blob. It's like every robot ever. It doesn't really do anything. It's there. And it like attacks you with tentacles, but he just lives in the basement. And eventually, after driving a forklift into a wall and releasing the Mimic, Cassie, which is Gregory's friend, runs away and escapes into an elevator where Gregory calls her on the phone and is like, "Hey, thank you for trying to save me. That wasn't me. I'm maybe going to kill you now, or maybe it's the Mimic." Either way, her elevator is cut and she falls all the way back down to the sub-mega basement where the Mimic is chilling and maybe died. And that's the end. That's all. That's the whole lore for now.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's your question?
So where does like, okay, I've seen videos online of like the animatronics getting really freaky. Like, when does that get into play? Like, I've seen a lot of videos.
The freaky animatronics?
Yeah,
Here,
they call it Rule 34.
I'll pull it up. Hold on.
What is that?
Can you explain?
Yeah,
Can you elaborate
can
a
you
bit?
elaborate?
Maybe describe what they were doing?
Yeah.
Instead
What is
of
get
looking up
freaky
I don't
Rule
mean?
know. They were
Like, they
thirty-four,
get
doing.
Five
scary?
Nights
Like, I
at
think they're all
Freddy's.
kind of scary.
No,
No.
don't do
They were
that.
scarily freaky. I'll tell you that much.
Oh my goodness.
Explain what
I've
they're meaning, like
Nah.
SFM too. You have
seen
experience with
enough
that.
Chica SFM, bruh.
Yeah,
What?
Carter. Like, what does that have to do with it? Wait.
You what, Ryan?
What? You want to explain? You want to explain?
Yeah, you want to
I
run
was
that
looking
by
at
me
Crying
again?
Child SFM, bro.
It
Real.
was a dark time.
Hey, if you watch that, bro, I'd like to remind you that on slide 4, that Chica is possessed by a dead child.
Hey, it was a dark time a few
But
years
Not
for
ago.
not
you
good,
and for the
Chica.
law, you're under arrest. That is We're looking at a child.
Rule 34, Susie.
To be fair, I did not purposely search it out.
Oh
Hey,
yeah,
but
It just so happened that there
Yes.
was a
didn't
shit ton
you
of it
used to
when
make
I
us a
was.
fan videos? Dude?
Jeremy,
I did, but I
NSFW.
didn't make porn. All right, listen.
Are you sure?
Chica's name is
He's lying.
Susie, and that's all we know. Then there's Bonnie, Fritz, or there's Fritz. I think Freddy is Fritz. I don't know the other two names, but they're not
How
that.
big was the gift? How big was the gift?
Hooray!
What the hell's the gift?
The gift.
Yeah.
Hi, bro.
So is the box not important?
No, it was set up to be something super important, and they never did anything with it.
Bruh.
It was like there are some secrets that must be kept until later, and they never opened the fucking box.
Maybe it
There's a
hasn't been
theory
later
that
yet.
there's a theory that Matt Pat like solved it like bar for bar, and Scott got mad at him and just changed the entire like thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't put Matt Pat in here, but Matt Pat, his baby exists in a game. There's a game where him, his baby, his wife, and Markiplier are all villains,
Bruh.
and it's fucking crazy. It's like Terminator Markiplier. It's not canon or anything, but a lot of burning, a lot of coming back from this guy,
Yeah.
a lot of furries, and
Yes.
oh, wait, how do I open?
Where's the Corey Kenshin taxi driver?
Oh, yeah, and then the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Are you guys looking at my screen still, or my
Yeah.
Where is it?
No,
Where
no,
is
we're
it?
still
Yeah.
looking
The
at the
PowerPoint?
PowerPoint.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
There's how do I?
Domain expansion.
Or we'll stop the recording, epic recording now, and maybe it will let me go.